Hello and welcome to another edition of European Footballer Adda. We have a new set of panelists today with me. I am Devopam, and with me we have Mr. Yasser Arafat, who is joining us from London. Hi, Dada.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for inviting me.
And we have Mr. Orgho Lahiri joining us from Bangalore.
Hello.
So, long-standing fans of European Footballer Adda would know both of them. But those who are watching us for the first time, let me just remind them that Arafat Dada has been one of our pioneer fans of Italian football. He has stayed in Italy. He knows Italian language. He's traveled world over, and Orgo is a colossus because he follows both European football and South American football and Indian football in equal measures. He lives, breathes, and eats football. So we are lucky to have both of them together in this edition. Today we are trying to do a wrap or basically a review of the round one of the matches of Euro 2024, the 17th edition of Euro, which has started in Germany. So, without further ado, let's start. The tournament got off to a big bang in Munich, where Germany thrashed Scotland 5-1. Now, if we look at this 5-1, it's a big margin, but there was a fear in Germany that it would be a disappointment because they had flopped at the last three successive major men's international tournaments. So, 2018 World Cup, 2020 Euro, and 2022 World Cup. The last time Germany, in fact, won a knockout match was probably back in the Euros in 2016. So even though there was this 5-1 win, does it answer all the questions about Germany? Let me go to Arafat Dada.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, thanks for inviting me. Yeah. About Germany, I would say I was the match. I was the whole match. Last against Scotland, and also today against what was it? What against Hungary. So the match against Scotland, I think, didn't show us the reality of German national team, because before the tournament started, the only thing I was thinking about Germany is how would they play against a team who make an effective pressing in midfield and attack and play an attacking football against Germany, which Scotland didn't do at all, because Scotland, the only thing they did, it's defending with 10 men in front of the goalkeeper. So I think that kind of match was very suitable for German national team, because if you see the German team, there are many great players, especially in attacking line. Musiala is a fantastic player. Wirtz, this year he was sensational, Bundesliga player of the season. Toni Kroos, we all know about him. I would say, like, in attacking in front line, Germany, I think, is one of the best three teams in the world right now, 2, 3, 4 teams in the world. But the only concerning thing to me, it was like in the midfield, because I don't see anyone, a player like Casemiro, who can make a filter between defense and the midfield. So against Scotland, we didn't see this weakness of Germany, because, as I said, Scotland played with 10 men in defense. They made only the defensive game. But against Hungary today, it was the match. I think although Hungary has lost 2-0, but the weaknesses of Germany that I'm talking about in the midfield, that they don't have any defensive midfielder, like proper defensive midfielder, against Hungary, who didn't only think about defense as Scotland did, but they also tried to build up in the midfield. They tried to counter-attack. They tried to press in the midfield. And I think today we saw that German defense is a little bit vulnerable. So Hungary, of course, is not an elite team. So I think we have to we have to consider how Germany, especially like defensively, how would they play against an elite team who have the same level of attack like teams like France or Spain, this kind of teams. And if I'm not wrong, before the Euro, obviously they didn't play any qualification, but they played a lot of friendlies. And before the Euro, I think they played a lot of friendlies against big teams. I cannot tell you exactly how the results was. I have to check, but I think all those results were not satisfying because as far as I know, before the tournament started, German fan base was not 100% enthusiastic about the tournament. They were a little bit skepticism. But yeah, obviously they made a great win, 5-1 win, and today they won against 2-0. But I still think Germany is one of the 3-4 most strongest teams in this Euro, and they are clearly one of the favorite teams, especially because they are playing at home. But I have to wait until they face a real team.
Okay. 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 Going back to that Scotland match, there was Florian Wirtz at the age of 21 years and 42 days, becoming both the youngest player to score for Germany at the European Championship and also the youngest player to score the opening goal of a European tournament. In fact, Florian Wirtz and Jamal Musiala, the two kids, Germany was the first nation in European Championship history to have two players aged 21 or younger score in the same match. So coming to Lahiri, is this the generation that is going to take Germany back to the top? This Jamal Musiala, Florian Wirtz, the way these two guys played.
They look pretty interesting, but I'm still in doubt that they are the guys who can pull up Germany from the form they had shown in last three tournaments. So there is a massive hole, and a lot of players still who going to leave the national team in next few years. I'm not sure how long Cruz will play. So he might leave soon. Uh, so I'm not sure these two can change Germany the way we are expecting, the way that past great generation of Lam, Cruz, Ozil, etc. Did for several years. But they had a great prospect. And I believe even if they cannot do the way the last golden generation did, but they will do pretty good the way they had been showing in last couple of matches.
Staying with the Group A, the other match featured Hungary and Switzerland, and it was, you can say, a battle of dark horses. Switzerland is the perennial qualifier from the toughest of the tough groups, and Hungary barely, barely could not just get out of a very, very tough group, a group of death in the last Euro, a group which had France, Germany, and Portugal. It was horrible, and Hungary barely just missed out. So these two teams have been in form over the last 18 months, and Hungary was tipped as the dark horse in Germany, basically because on the back of their captain, the Liverpool midfielder Szoboszlai. But in the end, as it turned out, it wasn't maybe the most glamorous game, but it was a very interesting game in Switzerland running up 3-1 victory over Hungary. And one of the key moments of the match was the 22 passes in the build-up to Switzerland's opener, which was scored by Quadro Dua. This is the third longest passing sequence leading to a goal at the Euros that's on record. Abisha became the first Swiss player to score and assist in a game of a major tournament since Tranquillo Bernetta in 2006. And finally, there was also a goal, also a goal at the end by Bril Embrello. Is Switzerland again going to be the dark horse? And is Hungary, forgetting the second round matches that has probably happened, is Hungary now again going to miss out on knockout action?
So Switzerland and Belgium, they are considered like the dark horses for last several tournaments, World Cup or Euro, and everybody expect them to be at least runner-up or semi-finalist, that kind of a thing, and they they were not good. I mean, in a match, they look like a world champion, and in another match, they are so boring, they look so pathetic and so passive that everything just vanishes in a single match. And most of the cases, it is one of those knockout matches. So again, this Switzerland team has a great prospect to be at least semi-finalist, even if not a finalist team. But again, I have a doubt that in one of those matches, again they will miss the thing. Again, they look a little bit of blunt, but their midfield, their attacking, all are pretty good. And what they had shown again, Hungary, it was not an easy match, and I expect them to be at least be semi-finalists. Hungary, on the other hand, they are called dark horse, but this is my problem with all the teams which are the East European teams mainly, that when they attack, they look very blunt. They have very minimal presence in opposition's penalty box. Um, and they took a lot of attacks. In today's Germany match, there were several phases when Germany were almost playing in the Hungary's half, and there are few counter-attacking phases where Hungary had a little bit of upper hands, but uh, most of the phases, Germany had the upper hands. Germany were everywhere in the penalty box. Even the first goal, which looked a little bit of clumsy, but before that first goal, there were several opportunities where Havertz were there, who missed a goal, golden opportunities that was. Uh, Hungary could have had at least two goal deficits in the first half itself. So whatever happening with Hungary, uh, I'm not that much of surprised of. But I bet on Switzerland to be semi-finalist at least.
Good. Let's move to Group B now. This has been touted as probably another group of death for this year. Multiple Euro winners, multiple time Euro winners, multiple time World Cup winners, all World Cup finalists are all in there. The first match was between Spain and Croatia. Croatia has been the finalist of the World Cup in 2018, semi-finalist in 2022. They haven't replicated that form in the Euros. On the other hand, Spain, they reached the semi-finals in the last Euros, but got knocked out in the tiebreaker. What happened was Spain sacrificed possession for attacking progression and got off to an excellent start. It was probably the first match in 50 odd matches where the opposition team had more possession than Spain. And
Or I think more than 50 it is. Almost near 100, I think,
yeah, possibly
that they had. Yeah.
yeah, it was a long time coming. Let me check that record.
I think 110 or 134 around that matches after that the opposition had more ball position
134, it
than the.
seems a very long figure.
Yeah. Yeah, again, we will come back with the right number, but so far it was a very odd, very high number where Spain have not been the dominant possession team and still managed to. Yes, the number is actually 136 competitive matches
Wow,
Yeah, in
since
fact,
this is so impressive.
134 as I said.
since
Yeah,
since the Euro 2008 final versus
Wow,
Germany.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where
it's been
also they
like
won
for
3-0.
16 years, they always had the ball possession.
Yeah,
Yes, every time.
yeah, and basically Croatia, managed more possession, but less number of shots, and overall had also a goal disallowed. So let me come to you, Arafat Dada. What did you make of this new approach of Spain? How effective was it? And was it only for Croatia, or do you feel that we could see such approach throughout the tournament?
I think it was also because of Croatia. Okay, this is for sure that Spain had a different approach in this game because, as we have just talked about, Spain, we are not used to see Spain having less than 50% of ball possession, which is really unreal. But obviously, with De La Fuente, with the new coach, they have a different approach to the game. But in this match, obviously they won 3-0. So people are talking about Spain as super favorite and everything of this. But I think this result 3-0 hides because we are seeing only the result at the end. But we didn't see the whole 90 minutes of the match because if we consider the 90 minutes, I think Croatia had a lot of chances to draw the match. After 1-0, Croatia immediately had a big chance just in front of the goalkeeper. I don't remember the striker, maybe Kramaric or someone who made the missed shot. Then after 2-0, again, Croatia had another chance, completely 1 versus 1. They missed it. And even after 3-0, they had a penalty missed. The Croatia had a lot of chances. So I know this Spain is different from past, but still, I think some people they told me that this Spain is more dangerous than the last Euro Spain. But to me, in 2022, that squad was better than this Spain, especially individually. This Spain is still very good team, but I have to say a couple of things. First of all, it's very young. So, when you have too many young players, you cannot always rely on them. Like young players are, when things go well in correct way, they step out and they play a good game. But when they are in difficulty, most of the time, young players, they hide themselves and they cannot step out. So this match against Croatia was from starting to the end was everything was excellent for Spain. So they played a good game, but I cannot forget the fact that Croatia had at least 4 big chances. If they scored at least 2 goals, maybe we would have a different thought about Spain now. And the other thing is. Next match is against okay, we are talking about Italy later, but about Croatia. So also today we saw that Croatian defense, how vulnerable it is against Albania. We saw the match. We saw Albania against Italy. How bad they were, because of course they scored one goal after 23 seconds, and they had another chance towards the end. But in 90 minutes, Albania didn't make any attack, or they didn't even try to play football. But against Croatia today, we saw an excellent Albania. So that means Croatia really, what I think is like they came towards the end of their cycle, and now Croatia whole team is in their declining stage. Their most important player, Modric, who is 37 years old right now. So obviously, because of the age, cannot perform like as he used to be. Brozovic, who was 1 year in Saudi league, and it's not a competitive league. So after 1 year in Saudi, when you come back in Europe, you have different speed, different space, different spaces. So we can see he's playing really bad in this tournament. We never saw Brozovic playing so bad in when he was in Serie A. Then Rakitic, he's not anymore. So I think Croatia, of course, we consider them as a big team because they were semi-finalists of last World Cup, runners-up in the previous World Cup. But if you see overall the team, Perisic, who was injured for more than 1 year, now he came back from the injury and plays in Croatian league. So obviously it's not competitive as Serie A or Premier League. So overall, I think we overhyped or overrated Croatia before the tournament. They are towards the end of their cycle. And on the other hand, Spain is a good team, but not as good as the result is showing me.
Right. A few records that were made that day. Alvaro Morata with 10 goals became Spain's outright second highest goal scorer at a major international tournament, Euros and World Cup combined, behind only David Villa. Indeed, in European Championship history, only Cristiano Ronaldo with 14, Platini with 9 have netted more goals than Morata, who has 7 goals. And then Fabian Ruiz, he managed to score and assist a goal. This is a unique thing. Last time this happened was also against Croatia in 2020 when Ferran Torres had done that. And then finally, we have to mention Spain's Lamine Yamal, 16 years and 338 days, youngest ever player to appear in a game at a UEFA European Championship final. And on the other hand, Luka Modric became only the third European player to appear in as many as 9 separate editions of a major international tournament, that is World Cup and Euros, after Lothar Matthäus and Cristiano Ronaldo, who has 10.
And that's a great achievement. And considering the kind of or the amount of people live in Croatia, it's a small country, and such a person representing country for a long time, runner-up and semi-finalist in World Cup, winner of UCL, etc. That's a great achievement, really, for that great man.
Yeah. Okay, let's come to the other match of this group, which is which could, and we were expecting should have been probably a banana skin for the defending champions. This survived a huge scare in Dortmund before they managed to play some of the most scintillating tiki-taka that the prime Spain team would have probably played earlier. But it all started with the fastest goal in European Championship history. Nadim Behrami, who used to play for, I think, Empoli, now plays for Roma. He managed to latch on to throw-in from Di Marco. Dada, what do you have to say about that throw-in?
It has reminded me, the throw of Perisic against Bologna, that kind of thing.
Okay. Then
I think that goal was that much of shocking. I mean, how shocking it was, I was thinking, and perhaps when people heard JFK was assassinated, they were shocked. It was that kind of a shocking thing. And I was watching, having water, and I stopped for a few seconds when that goal went in. I was thinking, just what happened? Is it real or it is offside? Some kind of, because it cannot happen.
So it was amazing. I probably, I was thinking that there has to be some mistake in there. It cannot be, this goal cannot happen. So before this game, Italy's 45 matches at European Championship had produced 1.84 goals on average, which is basically 52 goals for and 31 against, which is the lowest ratio of any of the 25 teams to have taken part in 10 plus matches. Okay. But this Italy was something different. There was a rapid turnaround within the 16 minutes. 10th minute, it was a goal by Bastoni from a corner, and then 16th minute, Nicolo Barilla. Amazing technique. Dada.
About the Italy. Okay, first of all, I have to start from beginning, because before the tournament started, in Italy, we all were so pessimistic about this team, because before the tournament, the qualification was not great. Against Ukraine, we were almost losing that. We won at the end. I remember there was a penalty for Ukraine. If referee whistled that penalty, maybe right now we were not even in Europe. So qualification was very bad. After qualification, we made some friendlies. Italy always didn't play attractive football. They played always bad football. So in Italy, everyone was very pessimistic about this team. And after the match started, so imagine the atmosphere after 23 seconds. Like the enthusiasm about this team was already below zero. And after 23 seconds, you concede a goal. So like everyone was literally shocked. We couldn't believe that we conceded a goal after 23 seconds against Albania. I was really concerned. I thought, okay, this is the end. I really didn't think that we could have won this match after that goal. But then I have to say that the reaction of the team was fantastic. We played really good football. Okay, people are talking about the second half, that in second half, Italy didn't play as good as they did in first half. But if we consider if we consider the first 45 minutes, I think Italy played one of the most entertaining football in this tournament so far. One of the big advantage of Italy, I think, is the fact that 4 players come from one single team, which is Inter Milan, the team I support. So this is an extra happiness for me, that everything we did was Inter thing. Like the mistake has done Di Marco. We conceded the goal because of our left back Di Marco, and we scored the goals with Barella and Bastoni, who both are Inter players. Also, there was Frattesi. So I think this is very good, an important thing, because in national team, usually it's not like a club. Like players, they come from different clubs, they don't know each other. So in this kind of things, it's team chemistry, understanding is not always on peak. But when you have 4 or 5 players who come from same team, this can make a big difference. Like Spain, if you consider Spain in 2010-12, that winning Spain, most of the players came from Barcelona, so they had that kind of philosophy, and we all know what they did. So this Italy, it might not be one of the top 3, 4, 5 favorite teams, but what I saw, it's the team is very united. There is solidity. Defensively, it's not bad. It's not good as last Euro, where Bonucci and Chiellini, they are like masters of the defense. Bastoni, Calafiori, they are modern defender. They probably 1 versus 1. They are not like Chiellini and Barzagli, that kind of defenders anymore. Yeah.
Let me ask the Italian non-fan here. What impressed you Lahiri, or what didn't impress you about Italy in that match?
It was amazing football that they displayed. I mean, uh, it was nice, but I couldn't feel asleep. The amazing football they were playing, the passing, the wing play, and they could have scored more goals very easily. Uh, as Arafat Bhai said, uh, perhaps the best football played in this Euro so far by any team, and if this team do not go to semi, then that will be shocking.
Okay. Okay. Let's come to Group C now. Group C also had a very balanced set of teams. Initially, Slovenia played Denmark, and Cristian Eriksen's life circle story came. I mean, story came a full circle. Scored a goal in the first match. If you remember what happened in the first match versus Finland in 2020, you would remember why I'm saying this. But Slovenia battled back to earn a draw. Okay. Lairi, what do you take from this match? Do you feel that Denmark were sloppy to let that equalizer get through? Slovenia was not really threatening that much overall.
Yes, Denmark was sloppy. As I said, most of the Eastern European teams they are really blunt. I mean, when they're attacking, uh, they do not look that good. Even that day also, Slovenia was not that much impressive. Um but what a story for Ericsson. I mean, unbelievable, unbelievable. You just cannot even write a script like this by thinking that someone like Ericsson, who was already kind of no club was interested to taking for years, um, and then he came back, scored a goal, almost won the match, but but unfortunate for them. And yes, they were sloppy to let that goal in. I don't think Slovenia will go much further. Uh, Denmark might have a chance, not semi-final. I don't think so, but they have a chance. They were playing.
Yeah. And if
I
Denmark,
just have, I want to add just one thing about Slovenia. They have a striker, Seško. Oh my God, he's so good.
yeah, yeah, he's going to, be one of the best strikers of this generation. And then
Right.
finally, the boys, the team, the favorites, England came down to play Serbia, but it wasn't pretty. England kicked off the campaign with a win in Gelsenkirchen, but it was not at all pretty. And there were a lot of chances that Serbia actually had. Maybe, something here or there. A 1-0 win against this Serbia from this England team. Arafat Dada, what do you feel? England is again, is it the right start, or are they again going to flatter to deceive?
I have to say, okay, it's the right start because they have won. They earned 3 points they needed. But if we enter in the details of the match, obviously the start was very bad. I mean, we like the caliber of the players they have: Harry Kane, Phil Foden, best player of the Premier League, Bellingham, probably one of the two best players of this season. So we are not talking about like whole season. Saka, in every single position, they have one of the best 2 or 3 players of the world. So obviously, from this kind of players, from this team, we expect much more entertaining and attractive football. But they did not deliver Are you listening to me? Okay. Okay.
Yes,
I
yes,
thought
yes.
that I was stopped in a. Everything is fine, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Hello?
So
I am
let
getting.
me ask
Okay,
Lahiri.
okay. So
Let me
yeah,
ask,
no, I was saying that.
so let me ask Lahiri here.
So
Lahiri, England versus Serbia. England's XG was 0.52. Serbia's was 0.18. England had 5 shots on target, 5 shots, 2 on target. Serbia had 6 shots and 1 on target. So
So again, another East European team, and again blunting attack. Nothing surprising for me at least. But Southgate is the father who doesn't like his child to be adventurous. So they they have everybody to play like that Italian team who played 1 day back. Exactly that same kind of or player who were more capable. I mean, who in the art have a player, uh, Saka, Foden, and then Harry Kane, Bellingham, Declan Rice, and you have a XG of 0.5. I mean, this is um, um, unforgivable. You cannot even imagine it. You are completely out of words to describe Southgate. And this is
no,
not
no.
unusual.
Before
He did
before
it last tournament, he did it before that.
before you malign Sir Gareth, let me remind you, only Sir Alf has a better win rate amongst England managers in major tournaments than Sir Gareth. So please do not malign Sir Gareth.
And who can forget Sir Gareth's team scored, I think, half a dozen goal against Panama. I mean, uh, no team, no English team. I can even remember any English team since I started watching 1990 World Cup. I cannot imagine any team scored that much of goals. So they did it against Panama. Great. So that same form they are now continuing. And I expect they will scavenge few wins here and there. And there was an anomaly that France and England match in last World Cup. They were adventurous. Southgate learned from that, and they will never be so. So yes,
Right.
that boring kind of football they will continue. Best of luck to them. I expect to them be in semi-final so that Southgate continues and again be the manager in next World Cup.
So that was about England. I hope you're liking the way that we are doing this wrap. We have covered groups A, B, and C. We will do D, E, and F in another episode. If you have still not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. And if you like our video, please share amongst your friends and family and let us know your comments through the channel. Okay, that's all we have for this section. We will come back with another review or wrap, which is for the other 6 matches. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.